Hey, welcome back to Code 4 Cooking. Today we're going to tackle on our egg series, part of our breakfast series. We're going to be talking about sunny side up eggs. So let's get into our sunny side up eggs, shall we? My name is Jeffy Antoneko. I was a paramedic for over 26 years. I did my bit for king and country, but it took its toll, physically, emotionally, and mentally. One thing that could always bring me peace and calm, and that's cooking. Ask my partners. We ate well. Now I want to share that place with you. For my first responder and military family, I want to share my knowledge and experience of cooking, start to finish, with me, and hope you can find your peace and calm while cooking. And to anyone else just starting or in need of a person to cook with, from gathering and prepping our ingredients to cooking, and finally plating and tasting, let's help you find that peace and calm as well in cooking. So come on, cook with me. Okay, so we've got our eggs here in a bowl. We're going to be working with a non-stick skillet. We've got a couple ramekins and plates. The ramekins are for us to be able to crack our eggs into. We have our fat, which is going to be our butter. That's going to be our base to help us out, keep that flavor in the pan. So, when you look at our pan, it's non-stick. We've got a burner here. We're going to turn that on. And when you look at the flame, if you can see it too well, try the light out, see if that helps. There we go. So, big flame, small pan. Turn that down. You want to find a flame or a temperature that's going to match the inside part of your pan. So that way the heat is hitting here and it'll go in and out rather than just having the flame out here, which will take forever to heat the pan up and you're just wasting energy. Alright, so we're going to take and get one of our eggs. Remember, we want the yolks non-broken. So you're going to crack it on a hard, flat surface and then into the ramekin. There we go. Throw the shell in the compost. Alright, now, there we have it. Eggs ready to go. Now we're going to take our butter. Add a good little dollop of butter in here. Now I grabbed these non-stick tongs so I can use it in this pan to just move the butter around and speed up the melting process. Alright, now I told you we were going to do sunny side up eggs a couple different ways. We are, and it's not that they're different, we're going to be cooking them a little bit different. So first off, we're going to take our regular egg and we're going to put it in the pan. The first thing you're going to say is, Jeff, the pan's too cold. You're right, it is. So we're going to show a cooking technique that you can put it into a relatively cool pan as long as you have that fat in there, and it will cook slowly. But if you look at it here, you can already see that we're starting to get the whites are starting to set. Now, part of cooking it slowly like this in a cooler pan, one of the things that's going to happen is that with that fat layer on the bottom, the whites are going to stay white. And what I mean by that, it's not a dishwasher commercial or laundry commercial. It's because it's at a lower temperature, they're not going to have time to brown. You're going at a higher temperature, you're going to get that crispy edges, you're going to get that browning on the bottom. The yolk itself is still going to stay sunny side up. You see, we can leave that set there. Forgot to grab out a fork. It's the little things that get you when you're prepping for stuff like this. But you can see here, the whites are still setting. The pan is still set at the temperature, but it's starting to cook. And the whites are starting to get a little bit more solid. Now, once we have that solid, we're just going to pull it off and put it on a plate. And eggs themselves don't take very long. They're you just need to be patient. One of the biggest reasons why I think people don't cook eggs either to their own liking or someone else's liking is they're typically cooking at too high of a temperature, and they just rush it. And the difference between a beautifully cooked egg and a rushed egg really amounts to just simply about 30 seconds. So in the grand scheme of things, when somebody says, how long are my eggs? It's like, it only takes 4 to 5 minutes for an egg. Don't rush it. Don't rush perfection. This is what we're here for. All right, now look. Those whites are set. We're done. So we're going to take this, slide it off onto the plate, put my pan off to the side. We'll go straight to the camera here. All right, so you can see here, trying to get the camera right. The whites are nice and set. The yolk is still perfect up egg. That is egg number 1. Now, we're going to look at going for egg number 2. So again, crack your egg, flat surface, into the ramekin. Now remember, why do we cut it into the ramekin instead of straight into the pan? That's right, we don't want the eggshells. If we had dropped this in here and there were eggshells in the ramekin, we can pick those out, right? And not worry about putting our hand in or tongs in a hot skillet, trying to figure out how to get the eggshells out of there. Add a little more butter here. All right, now remember, we know that this pan is hot. It just cooked an egg. We're going to give this butter just another second here. And if you look, all of that sizzling's gone, that water's out. We've kind of made a brown butter now. We're going to go ahead and drop our egg in. Well, so there you go, the immediate sizzle. Look at all that crackling going on. That is a ton of action for this little egg. And you can already see, using my pointer, all the edges out here, the wispy whites that stayed more connected with the other one, are already starting to brown. So that means you're getting a lot of higher heat in this cooking process. The end result is still going to be the same. You're going to have a sunny side up egg. I am going to try to take this, well, think of this as our transfer plate. I'm going to move this to the big plate here. There we go. So now we have the first egg. The second egg is coming. Now when you look at that too, you notice that the immediate white surrounding the yolk has tightened up, giving you that, I guess, more ideal shape that people think about. In many kitchens, higher end restaurants, if you were to order this, they would take that white, that's the frizzle out here, and they would take a knife and they would carefully cut that off and throw it away. Now, it's part of the egg. I think you should just eat it. I don't think we should be wasting it just because it cooked a little different, right? So there you have it. Slides around the pan nicely. Find different hot spots on it. Now, some people are going to ask about the difference between stainless steel and non-stick. Obviously, one has a coating on it that allows things to not stick to it. The stainless steel, however, the biggest thing that I would say with that is you really got to watch your temperature and watch your fats. So if you work with stainless steel, you run a real low temperature with eggs, and if you're using butter, especially, because you get that brown butter, but then it's going to turn like that and be burnt butter. And nobody wants burnt butter. So, you can see here, that's constricting even more. I mean, the egg itself has turned quite a bit smaller in size because the bottom of that egg is shriveling up and browning. So now those whites have set. this another second here. There we go. Now, so there's that. You can see the brown butter there, which is the reason why I'm going to be using the spatula to move it over to the other side. And you see this is kind of crispy. Well, that's a fried egg. That is 100% fried egg. So now, take our spatula, move it over here to our other plate. That plate's got some brown butter on it. And I would like to start with a cleaner pan. I'm going to give this a quick rinse. Alright, so we rinsed our pan out. It's still hot. Don't put your hand in it. I'm using a towel to get rid of the water. So, before we put that back on, I want to show you something else here. We're going to be cracking another egg, flat surface, another ramekin. What's up, guys? Okay, just a neighbor. Just neighbor and kids. Oh, happy days. Alright now, it's cooled off a bit. And we're going to see. What I'm going to do is this. When you look at these other eggs, I'll try to show you over here. They still have that film of white. See that? Same thing on here. A lot of people refer to it as the slime. It's not slime. Oh, broke the yolk. It's not slime. It's white. It just hasn't cooked. So what I want to try to do, we're going to put the egg that we just put in the ramekin into the pan. There's our butter. Now, when you pour these in, I typically try to pour, so I'm trying to pour the egg where I want it to stay, because there's always a slope of a stove or whatever have you. I'm going to drop that right there in the center and let it roll out. And just kind of hold it there for a sec. And true, this pan is still a little bit hotter than a coal. But what I'm going to try to do, very carefully, lift the top of this off without breaking the yolk. So you got a good grip of it there on the first try. There, it's coming away. So I'm pretty sure. Alright. I'm pretty sure I was able to get that film off. And what that does is breaks it off the top, pulls it down around the side. And now it's going to cook just like the other whites did. The only difference is at the top of this, there won't be that slime of white that hasn't been cooked. We'll go back and take another look. And this is a hot pan. Don't get your face too close. Butter pops and splashes. That's why we have our apron on. Yeah, you can see that's off to the side a little bit more. And it's almost got now a dry sheen on top. Did you see that when I press down there? Alright, that's dried. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It's not drying out the egg. What it is it's just because that white is no longer covering that surface, it's exposed it to the hot air that's coming from the pan. And therefore, ergo, no no slime on top, nice simple film on top, and the egg will break, and you'll have a beautiful, beautiful egg. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for. And you can see again now, whoops, our weights are set, almost. Like I said, the pan was a little hot to go into. I am going to go into the next one. It's going to be 100%. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'm going to try it. I have hope. I have hope. Okay, that white is cooked. Let's get that off our pan. Put that away from the flame. There you go. Beautiful egg. I'm going to show you in this camera. No slime allowed. Just a beautiful egg. Put that here. Transfer it to our mother plate. Alright, so I got my pan off. Give it a quick rinse again. And by the way, the reason I'm giving this a quick cleaning is nothing to do with how hot the pan is or what butters or whatever else is left behind. It's nothing to do with that. I'm cleaning it for the sheer fact that I want you to have an experience of looking into a pan that's clean. You can enjoy it for the first time. If I was making this for my family for breakfast, trust me, we're just going barreling through eggs after eggs after eggs. Alright? So, this is our first ramekin. Alright, put that in the sink with a little bit of water. Remember, yolks and whites uncooked will dry like concrete, even on your dishes. So, I'm done with that. I'm going to put a little water in there. Keeps it right where I want it. So, here's where we're going new. This is a baking technique where you fold the egg back and forth in order to get rid of, separate the yolks and the whites, which I think we've done pretty good here. So I'm going to put my egg yolk. I'm actually just going to see if it'll sit. Probably won't. No. I'm going to put it in the ramekin. And now, I'm going to take a small fork. Let me put my pan back on here. I'm going to take a little dollop of butter. I'm going to get that heating. And now, the whites here, I'm just going to break up and whisk. And that brings those thinner whites that would normally fly off the handle and mix them with the more solid, solitary whites. There, that's a good mix. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to start mixing this and find out you've made yourself mayonnaise. And yeah, that's how you start making mayonnaise. But what I want to try is I want to try taking these whites. I'm going to pour them into the pan and they're going to spread out nice and even. My yolk is right here and I'm going to pour it on top of the whites. That'll finish. It'll cook just a little bit on the bottom. Same thing it did on the other eggs. It'll just warm it. But then you've got your whites completely separated, your yolk completely separated. And then, if you're going to have fun with the kids or whatever else, you could always put food coloring in, do the whole fried green eggs thing. Put 2 egg whites in here when you whisk it together. It would fill the whole pan. And then you can place your yolks exactly where you want them, just like eyeballs. Get your bacon, make your smiley face. Kids will love it, right? All right. see what happens. In go the whites. Alright, I'm going to put this bowl in the sink. A little bit of water. Alright, there's the whites. Let's see if this works. I want it to stay on the white. There you go, nestled like a little baby. Yeah, kind of cool. And you see the foam? I'm going to flip this up. See how it's got that foam there? That's white. That's egg white. That comes from a sturdy whisking. And we are not going to wait or look for those, the foamy part of the whites to reduce down to more of a solid white. The main reason for that is that it's in the air pocket. So it's absorbing the heat. So it is going to be technically considered cooked. Okay? You're just going to not see it as that solid effect. So this is, and I'm pleased the way this worked out. Alright, let's go ahead. Put this on a plate. Turn our stove off. Look at that yolk. She's beautiful. Alright, let's put her on the plate. I have to use a spatula because she's not set in those whites. So there you have it. Got some beautiful eggs here. This is our first one. Low temperature to start with. Hot pan. This is a hot pan that we took the white off the top of the yolk. And this one, the last one, is that wispy, whipped up whites with the yolk dolloped on top. All of them look amazing. So, excuse me. That's our sunny side up eggs. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. Please like and subscribe. That way I can continue to bring you new content and keep it all fresh. And you can go ahead and learn to cook with me on a regular basis. I will be doing egg series where it's not just going to be the solitary cooking of an egg. We're going to do a variety of different things so that we can learn on working our timing with cooking our eggs and other items for breakfast as well, so we have a well-rounded breakfast. All right, thanks again. Like and subscribe. We'll see you later here on Code 4 Cooking. All right, take care.